Hello there guys, just a quick review for you here today. If you're getting a sense of deja vu, do not adjust your sets, everything is fine. I have indeed reviewed the Verifier Takao before, but that previous review was the 1/350 scale kit, and this is the brand new 2026 release of the 1/700 scale kit. The box art is absolutely identical between the two kits, but this 1/700 scale version is of course somewhat smaller. Now you might remember from the 1/350 scale version that kit was absolutely packed with photo etch and 3D printed parts. Don't be fooled into thinking those parts will be missing in this 700 scale version. Obviously they are smaller and there are fewer of them, but Verifier do still pack in a huge amount of detail into this kit. Let's get an idea of that by looking at the instructions first. So here is the instruction manual. As you can see, the sprue map starts on the front page with the sides of the hull, the decking and a few other bits and pieces. And then right inside the front cover, I'll try to freeze this in the best position for you to see. You can see we've got straight away there 2 medium-sized plastic frames, 2 smaller plastic frames, and then 4 photo etch frets. We'll look at those in more detail later, but you can see on the W fret there we have lots of railings for the deck, and on the Z one we have the, well, it's supposed to be battens I think to keep the deck down, the lino deck down I believe. And then across the page, and everything here I believe is, with the exception of the masts at the top, is 3D printed detail. So a huge variety and some really tiny components there. Again, we'll look at those in more detail in a moment. But you can see there, top left you've got the turrets, and then below that the RPA6 pieces are the gun barrels for the turrets. To the right of that looks like the anti-aircraft weapons, and these are all going to be tiny in this scale. And we're not done yet, because over the page we have even more. To be honest, I'm not sure what all of these are, but I can certainly see down the bottom the coloured ones there, the green, the blue, the red, orange and maybe the yellow too, all look like various binoculars, telescopes, rangefinders, that kind of thing. So again, you can get a good idea of just how big they will be or how small they will be in this scale. And in fact, it almost seems as if there are more photo etch parts or 3D printed parts than there are plastic parts, because the next page of the instructions is straight on to the process of building. So we start with the deck, and there's quite a few holes to drill. Primarily 0.5mm, although we do have a few all the way down to 0.2mm. And here over the page they're providing you with a couple of options. Basically we have the option to do this as a full hull model or a waterline model. If you want to do the waterline model, basically you're going to cut off the bottom of parts A2 and A1 there, and we're provided with a base which will keep those separate if you want to do that waterline version. Then squeezed onto the bottom of page 6 we've got the 2 float planes, the Jake and the Pete. And then over the page we start on the photo etch in earnest. So you can see at the top of the instructions here we're building up the catapult, and the W and the Z sprues are actually not sprues, they're photo etch frets, you might remember from earlier. So that entire catapult is made from photo etch. And I think that is one difference between the 350 scale version and this version. I don't think we have any plastic alternatives for this version. You might remember in the previous version it was a deluxe version, which was basically the standard version plus a load of photo etch and 3D printed parts. So you always had the default version, the standard version, plastic parts to fall back on. But that's not the case here as far as I can tell. Also at this stage we are putting down those Z pieces on the deck. I think they're supposed to be the battens to keep down the deck, as I mentioned. So that's entirely photo etched all the way across, bow and stern. we start to build up this various deck detail, and this is where all your 3D printed parts come in. Various tie downs and other things on the deck. Moving over the page again, and we're adding even more 3D printed detail. I do wish instructions would tell us what these are. I don't know, maybe ship modelers will have a better idea than me, but they look like some kind of ventilation systems or something for the lower decks. Across the page we build up the 11-metre motorboat and the 12-metre transport boat, both of which have photo etch detail on them. We do get some 700 scale chain in the kit, and that is added on the bottom of page 10. And then the photo etch really comes out to play on page 11 as we start to build up the bridge superstructure. You can see that we've got photo etch on the underside of a lot of the outcroppings on that structure there, so sort of supporting elements there. Lots of 3D printed sights and binoculars and so on the decks. And of course photo etch railings and ladders. And actually this image at the bottom of page 12 gives us a good idea of the materials composition. So the grey there of course is the injection moulded plastic, the sort of browny colour is the 3D printed materials, and the gold is of course the photo etch. So it's a real multimedia construction. Over the page we start to build up the funnels. We have the 3D printed grills over the funnels, but yes, that is photo etch detailing around the outside there of the funnel. All the X and W parts are photo etch. Then we do the radar antenna and another funnel. And in fact, looking at this here, the rear mast on page 15, that looks to me like what I would call rigging. The X61 and X62 parts are also photo etch, I believe. Can that be right? Photo etched rigging? Yes, indeed, X does appear to be a photo etch fret, so lots to add there. We've got some gun platforms which we are adding on page 16. And then wow, look how this all comes together over here on page 18. We've got these soldier standby rooms, room A and room B, either side of the deck. All of these anti-aircraft weapons which we've built up so far, really crammed in there. This is going to be an interesting build in terms of sub-assemblies and painting and things like that, because we've got a lot of detail in there. It's hard to believe, isn't it, that this is a 1/700 scale kit. And then on page 19, I'm not sure what this is called, but I believe this is part of the aircraft launching and recovery system, I think, isn't it? Again, these sort of like rails here in photo etch. And then yes, on the next page we add the aircraft there, with the crane of course. And so that aircraft deck goes at the rear of the ship. And then one of the final steps of the process, we add the main guns, of which there are 5. 3 at the bow and 2 at the stern. And you can see here on the right hand page, the final page of the instructions, just where all of those parts have gone, and the volume of photo etch there as well. That looks like a really nice ship, super detailed. On the back we have the paint scheme, quite a straightforward paint scheme here. Essentially we've got Imperial Japanese Navy grey with that anti-corrosive red, kind of red oxide-ish colour below the waterline. Okay, let's have a look at some of the parts, and we'll start with the plastic parts. I've used my macro lens here to give you a good view of the detail, because there is a lot of it even on the plastic. These of course are the hull sides, and you can see we've got an incredible amount of fine detail there, given the scale in particular. Having only built older ships like the Tamiya Prince of Wales, this level of detail and at this scale is really surprising to me. Very impressive stuff. We have got a nice texture here on all the horizontal surfaces, a kind of sort of a metallic non-slip texture. And even here at the bow we've got the wooden plank texture. And some plastic parts here for some of the superstructure walls and the gun platforms there as well. Again, if I can catch the light just right, you can probably hopefully see that we do have patterns there, which is supposed to be the doors, I think, on the surface detail of those plastic parts. And just like the deck, those gun platforms do have the anti-slip texture on them. On the next sprue we have more walls for the superstructure, plus the funnel sides. And again, that fine, almost rivet-like detail there on the side of the funnels, which we saw on the larger scale ship, but I'm quite surprised to see on this small version. Here is our sprue of boats. And then finally, one of our sprues of seaplanes, float planes. This bubble wrap contains the 3D printed parts. It's quite hard to see them at times because they're black or very dark resin, but I'll do my best to show them to you. It's great to see that these tiny parts have not been damaged in any way in the shipping process. And if I can just get the light to catch it the right way there, it's quite hard to tell to a certain extent which is the part and which is the supporting element. There we go, you can just about tell. And here, I think many of these pieces are meant to be mooring bollards. I don't really want to cut this, this framework off to give you a better view until I'm ready to build this. Here's a slightly better view of some slightly larger parts. These of course are the main gun turrets, or 5 of them. And again, if I get the angle right here, you can see that the railings are already present on these gun turrets. They're 3D printed. You can see just how fine they are along the top of each of those turrets. I'm very impressed that's been printed like that. I'm very impressed that it has survived the shipping process, and I would be very scared of knocking these off during the build process. Inside this bubble wrap, inside their own individual bags, are some of the 3D printed parts on the top of one of those turrets there. Really pushing the boundaries, I think, of the detail that you can achieve with 3D printing. Here we have some of the anti-aircraft weapons. And again, those barrels are absolutely super fine. I'm not much of a ship modeler, but I do feel like this is pushing the boundaries of what ship kits have done in the past. I guess previously we'd have to do etched metal for those barrels, and that would probably not be as fine as this. Now this white box here contains the photo etch parts. I'm not going to remove them from the packaging right now, mainly because I don't think it will help you see them. I think you'll just get more glare from the bare metal than from the plastic covered metal. But you can see here on this sprue we've got those railings there that I mentioned before. And in fact you can see the crane in the centre there as well. I think on the rear side here, on the smaller fret, these are parts of that gun platform. And of course in there we also do have that photo etch for the deck. Decals wise, the inclusion is fairly standard. We've got various size national markings for the aircraft, a few markings I guess for the deck and so on, and then of course the Japanese naval flag. Well guys, there we go. That was a quick look at the 1/700th scale Takao from Verifier. I'm not sure of the kit number for this because it's not written anywhere on the box or the instructions, but I don't think it's available in the UK just yet. You know, I've always been impressed by the level of detail on the Verifier kits, but also I've been a bit intimidated by it on the 350 scale kits. I'm wondering now whether this 700 scale kit will be an easier build or a harder build. It has fewer parts of course, but those parts are probably a little bit smaller and more fiddly. On the other hand, maybe I could get away with not adding some of the photo etch because it's not quite so important in the small scale. I'm really not sure, but I am tempted to have a go at this Takao. What do you think, guys? Should I have a crack at this, or should I try one of the 350 scale kits? Bearing in mind that the only ship I've built before is the Tamiya 350 scale Prince of Wales, which is a significantly older and simpler kit. Anyway, either way, I hope you've enjoyed this video and a look at this kit. It's a brand new release, like I said, but it should be available in the UK and around the world very soon. Before I go, I'd like to say thank you to all of you for watching, and special thanks to my Patreon supporters and YouTube members for their ongoing support of my channel. I'll be back soon with another build video, and until then, thank you again for watching and have fun modelling.